this was the topic of Scott R. Braithwaite's talk at that Provost School's Education Week in 2011. Yes, it's perhaps an unromantic view of things. Perhaps? How about definitely? The assistant professor of psychology admitted, but in my view, that makes life a whole lot easier. Talk about relieving the pressure. Now, instead of having to find the one, I only have to find a one. Amen to that. I mean, that's the positive side to this. I mean, you want to talk about, what advantage does this give you? Well, it gives you a huge advantage. You're not all stressed out having to find the. Think about this from a probability perspective. What's the probability out of all the, how many people are I mean, there are like, what is it, 9 billion people now on the planet? And of course, all those 9 billion people are not in your world. But if you think about like just the hundreds of people that you know in your own world, perhaps even thousands, and think about the probability of all the people that could be in your world. So now you're talking about hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions. And you want to talk about what's the probability that you're going to find the one and only one person out of all those people? I mean, that probability is not even 1% of 1%. And so, by restricting yourself to this belief, you limit your possibility. That is why it frees you up so much to just, and it increases your probability of success. If you just say, hey, there's a one from a particular group of people that I'm looking for. People who are focused on the idea of a soulmate may end up with a lot of really stupid behavior. Braithwaite explained, you might turn down a bunch of people when you could have had a really fantastic life. Exactly. Translation. Translation. You're keeping yourself single longer than you need to be. I mean, if you complain about being single, well, just scratch your head and think, am I doing this to myself? Am I doing this to myself? And really, a lot of us singles are doing this to ourselves. We're complaining about the challenges of singles life, and yet we have those challenges precisely because of choices we made. And some of those choices are exactly what's being talked about right here. We're restricting ourselves. We're not recognizing opportunity when we see it. Opportunity is there. It's presented to us. And, we don't recognize it as an opportunity. Thomas Edison once said, most people don't recognize opportunity because it shows up dressed in overalls and looks like work. And that's what a lot of it is in the dating arena. A lot of us people are looking for someone who fit a predetermined class of qualifications. And so someone who doesn't meet every one of those requirements is automatically looked at it. Yeah, you're nothing. There's nothing here. We think in such binary terms. But if we would just loosen ourselves up and realize there's a spectrum of people, if we only get, maybe they're not in this part of the spectrum where we need, maybe they're just a little bit off to the side of that. But hey, could we work with that? Can we work with that? Because that opens up possibility. And the more possibility we open up, the more our probability of success will increase and rise. So